Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into another video here with Dope First Mom. So my last video I discussed how I store, thaw, and stock my breast milk. So be sure to check out my last video. And the one before that I talked about breastfeeding good, bad, and engorge. So be sure to definitely listen and look at those last two videos if you plan on breastfeeding. If you don't know if you're going to breastfeed or do formula, they're very informative and hopefully help you make the right decision on which one you choose to do. And if you do choose to breastfeed, hopefully some of my processes can be some of your processes. So I said that I would share my postpartum update 1 month, and here we are 1 month later. Like, it went by slow and then it went by fast. Miss Nova actually turned 4 weeks yesterday, so she's not really reached her full month mark yet, but she is 4 weeks. So we're here at the 1 month postpartum update. So as I've shared with various people, my pregnancy was amazing, my labor and delivery was amazing, and postpartum was it was not bad, not to scare those individuals. It was not bad at all. But there are definitely some things that they don't tell you about that your body goes through after labor. So I'm going to go through some of the basic physical changes that I did not know that I would experience that definitely had an effect on me, on my body obviously, and on me mentally, because it was just quite annoying dealing with these things. So my body during the first month of postpartum, so when it comes to your lady friend down there, she is going to be very itchy. Like very itchy. They did not tell me that at the hospital. They told me definitely take showers, which I did, sit in Epsom salt or whatever if you need to or whatnot, but they did not tell me it would be itchy down there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, is this a yeast infection? Like, what is going on? So of course I go to my Facebook mom groups and I ask them, and then I look online, and apparently this is a common thing. So I did not get told that. So, and actually one of my friends, his fiance recently had a baby, and he shared with me Dermoplast, which I need to go get that bottle. I don't have it here with me to show you all, but they sell it at your local grocery store, and it was a lifesaver. So it basically helps with itching and that itchy feeling down there or whatnot, and it's a spray, and you just spray it and voila. Also, so that was helping relieve the pain a little bit. But I had called my doctor, and she was like, oh, you can also use Monistat, the external, because you should not be sticking anything up there. So once I had started using the Monistat, I definitely saw a complete difference, and it went away. It didn't go completely away, but I was able to function and walk, because at one point I was not able to walk. I was literally walking like a saddle, like my legs like because it was just so irritated down there. So Dermoplast and Monistat definitely helped me and my lady friend out a whole bunch. The Monistat runs you about $16. The Dermoplast I think was like $4. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Monistat, the Dermoplast is the more economical option. They both help, but I guess mine needed the double force. I'm not sure, but around week 3 is when the feeling actually stopped. Some people, I had a friend, she said her baby is like 6-7 months, and she said she just finally stopped feeling like weird and irritated down there. So I guess every woman is different. You will feel like, not necessarily disgusting, but you will want to take a lot of showers, because that's exactly how I was. I wanted to shower in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, and I was lucky if I got 1 shower in a day, but I definitely got my 1 shower in. Just because taking care of baby, you're trying to do so much, and next thing you know, you're asleep and you're tired. So the itchy vagina is something that they did not tell me about. The vaginal bleeding. So I actually did not know about this until I had a friend who had recently went through labor and delivery, and she told me about it. If it wasn't for her, I would have not known until I was actually at the hospital, and they will let you know. So she shared her experience. Like I said, I believe she said she was bleeding wait until like 2 months. Me, I stopped around 3 weeks, early 3 weeks, and it was heavy. It was only heavy bleeding for maybe like 3 days, and then day 5 it kind of got light, and I was able to use panty liners versus pads. And like I said, week 3 I don't wear anything at all. Like, there's literally nothing going on down there. And I think what makes a difference is, so I shared my story at I shared my story with my friend, that at the doctor they would push on my stomach. Well, they did like 3 good pushes before I went to the recovery room, and then while I was there they continuously pushed down on my stomach to get out the blood and any other icky gooey stuff that needed to come out as well. She shared with me that they did not do that with her. So I don't know if that makes a difference with how long you bleed down there. Definitely expect to at least bleed for a month. I don't know if I'm lucky or whatnot, but like I said, early week 3, I was pretty much clear. Because when she told me she bled for like over a month, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? It even ran into her getting her actual first period. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is crazy. So, yes, be prepared to bleed. And if your doctors don't push down, maybe it's something that you can request that they do when you're at the hospital. Like I said, I don't know if that is what makes the difference on how long you bleed. I just know that when we compare stories, that was not the common denominator. So, yes, you will bleed. You will bleed. It is going to be sore. Sore down there. Your lady friend's going to be sore. I had minimal tearing. I think she had to do like 1 or 2 stitch, but she was like, oh, you didn't tear honestly really at all, but she did do a little stitching down there. And I was very sore. So day 1 and day 2, I don't know if my body was still numb or in shock from like having a baby, but at the hospital I didn't feel any of these symptoms. I didn't have any issues. But by the time I got home, it was like, why didn't this stuff happen to me at the hospital? So I can ask a million questions. So you're going to be sore down there. It's going to hurt to walk. Well, not necessarily hurt to walk, but it's going to feel uncomfortable to walk for a little while, and it's going to hurt to use the restroom. I know when I would pee, it would just be like a lot of pressure down there. So you're going to be sore. Just get that in your mind and just tackle through it. Also, speaking of soreness, you may have constipation, okay? They will recommend stool softeners and things of that sort. At first, coming out the hospital, I was regular because one of my coworkers shared with me with her experience that it was a mental thing, that she was so scared to push out of the second hole that she was like constipated or whatnot. So I was like, oh, thank you for telling me that. So every time I would go to the bathroom and I knew I had the urge to poop, I would be like, you could do this, just push. Nothing's gonna fall out, nothing's gonna fall off. And so I was regular. And then for about a week, I think around week 2, for some reason, I just was constipated. Like, I didn't poop for like 4 days. And it was driving me insane. Because as you all know from my pregnancy symptom videos, I like to poop. I don't like to be stopped up. That's not cool. So, yeah, in between week 1 and week 2 is when the constipation feeling started to come. Mine didn't last long. Like I said, after that 4th day, I think I was back to regular. But yeah, it was no fun at all. So as far as what goes on down there, those are things that I experienced during my first month of postpartum. Like I said, they're not terrible things, but they're very annoying and irritable, and it could drive you insane, and it could drive you Googling so much. How long does this last? What do you use? Is this normal? And even though you could definitely call your doctor, like I called my doctor as well, because I was ready to, they were not trying to schedule me for an appointment. They were really trying to diagnose me over the phone. I'm like, no, please come look at my vagina. This is not cool. So yeah, So like I said, itchy vagina, vaginal bleeding, soreness, and constipation are things that I experienced my first month of postpartum with my lady friend down there. As far as my back, so I got epidural, and my back was, of course, very sore after maybe like 2 or 3 days after delivery. And then after that, I was pretty much normal. But I do notice with certain motions and certain things that I try to do, like going back like this. Sometimes Enrique will be jokingly playing or dancing with me, and he'll lean me back or something like that. And I could definitely feel where they stuck me for the epidural. And it's not that it necessarily hurts, but it is a sore spot. So like I said, don't be freaked out by that. And then I also forget, like, Ty, it's only been a month since you had a baby. I'm like, why hasn't this feeling gone away? Like, it's only been a couple of weeks. It's only been a month. Like, give it a year till you don't feel anything. So that was me. The other thing that, out of all the things, I definitely wish somebody would have told me about the engorged boobs. So it's like, for those of y'all who did not watch my video on breastfeeding, the good, bad, and the engorged, so I'll briefly go over engorged boobs again. That was the worst part of post-delivery. Honestly, I was in so much pain. I couldn't put my arms down. I couldn't hold my baby. I couldn't sleep on my sides, on my back, and definitely not on my belly. But briefly, engorged boobs is when it happens like 3 to 5 days after you deliver, and it's basically when your milk supply comes in, and it comes in full force. So you need to be nursing and pumping ASAP, okay? Apparently you're going to get it regardless, but I think how soon you are constantly pumping and nursing varies on how bad it feels. My boobs have always been a B. I was literally looking like a double D. Like, it was terrible. But your boobs get really, really big. They get very tender and swollen, and they hurt. So like, last night, I waited almost 5-6 hours to pump, and my boobs were definitely on the point of engorgement because they were hard and tender. They weren't hurting or anything, but they do definitely hurt. So, yes. Engorged boobs. Look it up, read it up, learn all about it. Miss Nova is waking up. And then my belly. So my belly, it went down very fast. They say breastfeeding helps because you're burning the calories. I mean, I know you're extracting a lot out of your body, but I guess that helps with your belly going down. I don't really see how it logically connects because you're not really doing a lot of physical activity. But yeah, my belly went down really fast. I actually don't have much to work off. Thank you, Nova. And thank myself too as well, because it definitely plays key in what you eat during your pregnancy. Like, I did not eat a lot of unhealthy stuff. I did not eat a lot of unhealthy stuff. There were times where I had pizza for like a good 2 months. I was having pizza like 3 times a week, okay? So there were times where I was eating unhealthy stuff, but not throughout my whole entire pregnancy. And I definitely was not eating for 2. That is a myth. When you're pregnant, you're not eating for 2, okay? You're eating for 1. And the nutrients and supplements is being fed through your body through the placenta. So don't think you're out here eating for 2. Baby's not out here eating chunks of your chicken and the pepperoni on your pizza. All right. So and I will show my belly at the end of this video. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to see my 1 month belly. I was about to say belly bump, but it's not a bump anymore. You see my 1 month postpartum belly. Okay, so we've gone over the physical changes of the body. A lot of people talk about the mental changes of the body, postpartum depression, and all of that other stuff. One before I move on to the mental. So I had quite a few people that share with me that they lost hair after delivering their baby. I luckily did not have that issue. None of my hair has been shedding or falling out, so that's amazing. But do stay tuned to like noticing certain stuff like that. If your hair is falling out, just know that it could be from, you know, postpartum. One thing that I have noticed is that my nails have grown really long and like they're very sturdy and hard, which before I did not have that. But now my nails are like, I didn't even have this during pregnancy. We're taking prenatals. So yeah, that's the one thing I am loving, is that my nail growth. So yes, those are the other physical things. So mental, in the beginning, of course, I would say maybe like around day 5 through day 7 to 8, I did not have an interest in my baby. I loved my baby. I like being with her. I like being around her, but I wasn't excited. I guess this would be the baby blues thing that people talk about, but I just was not excited about her. I wasn't raving about her, how everyone else felt, her dad felt, the grandparents felt, aunts and uncles. Like I said, I was definitely happy and grateful to have my baby, but I was just feeling like a disconnect with being a mother and her being my child. It only lasted for a couple of days, but I don't know if it was because of the other physical things that I had going on with my body. It was actually happening around the time that I was going through my engorgement, and I think I was so focused on that and so depressed and angry on that I was not really concerned or consumed with my baby at that point. So that could have been the reason why I had my quote-unquote baby blues, or it could have just been that I was just not connected to her at the moment. So that is what I went through, and I felt bad about it. I'm like, why am I not like super excited? Why am I not trying to be with my baby? Like, this is my baby. I carried this girl for 9 months, and she's my child for forever. And I felt really bad. Like, what kind of mom are you? But then I just had to, you know, talk to myself and realize that, Tyra, your body is going through so many hormonal changes. Like, you just gave birth to a baby. You just had a lot of blood come out of you. Your hormones are like trying to level back. So I just had to mentally talk to myself and tell myself that it's okay. Like, you know you love your baby. You're just going through something right now. So if you're ever having a moment like that, do not feel bad. Don't feel like you're a bad mom, because you're not a bad mom. You physically went through a major change in life. So it is okay. So that's the one thing mentally that affected me. The other, lack of sleep. Lack of sleep. And then if you're nursing, I think it's worse. And then because you have to get up to nurse baby, you also have to get up to take care of baby, you have to get up to pump. Like, it's a lot. Me, I just pump. I'm an EP exclusive pumping mom. But still, the lack of sleep and learning a new sleep pattern, learning to get up and not have an attitude, not have an attitude with the baby, because the baby doesn't know any better. So yeah, lack of sleep can make you very irritable. You and your partner could be, me and Enrique have never argued or ever discredited one another for the efforts or taking care of Nova, because we pretty much are equal. But sometimes it's like you don't want to get up and you look at your partner. Like, there'll be sometimes where I had been with Nova all day and he was out at work. Granted, he wasn't out like hanging out with his friends, he was working. But I'm like, I've been here at work all day, Tag, you're it. And he would look at me like, really? He wouldn't give me like the really look, but he would just be like, because you could tell he didn't want to get up. And neither did I. So, but get your sleep and accept help when it's offered. Honestly, those are my 2 pieces of advice. Get your sleep. When baby is asleep, sleep. Right now, Nova is asleep, but I had to record this video. Get your sleep, because it's important. You will get aggravated. You will be moody. And I have learned that coffee, if I didn't know that coffee was my friend before, coffee is definitely my friend now, okay? So Get your sleep. It's important. And accept help when it's offered. In the beginning, we didn't really need help, honestly. Like I said, he was here, but now that he's back out working, I accept all help. You want to babysit? Absolutely. Even if it's just for 4 or 5 hours, I can just sleep and relax. I would definitely take that. So lack of sleep can definitely have a mood changer on you. Just be prepared. And honestly, there's no way to be prepared for the type of disruption you're about to get in your sleep. Like, people could tell you so many times, like, yeah, that baby's gonna be waking up, that baby is gonna be waking up, and you're like, yeah, I know, but you really don't feel it until it happens to you. Because honestly, I knew that she would wake up during the night. I knew that there would be times of like not the amount of sleep that I'm used to, but yeah, you really don't feel it until you're in action. So that could definitely have an effect on you mentally as well. Just stay calm, cool, and collective. For those of you who have partners, kind of establish who is on a night duty. If you all alternate night duty, like, how does that work? With Enrique and I, Nova's prime times of waking up during the middle of a night consideration are like 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and between 5 and 6, or 4, 5, and 6 in the morning. So that 3 o'clock hour, 2 or 3 o'clock hour, he typically wakes up because he's a night owl and he's up late. And I wake up early regardless at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So I take on that time when she wakes up then. And then we're typically up like around 10, 11, and 12 when she is up. Well, Enrique for sure is. Sometimes I'm in the bed knocked out. Sometimes we're both up. So it's not like we're waking up a lot overnight, but when you first get your baby, you're trying to learn your system, and that's our system with Nova. So every baby is different. You know, just mentally prepare yourself. And like I said, if you have a partner, try to have like a schedule, or whether it's a weekly schedule, an everyday thing that you all discuss. But I feel like having a routine, or mentally preparing yourself, knowing that if the baby wakes up during this time, I'm going to wake up. If the baby wakes up during this time, I'm going to remain asleep, because tag, it's your time. I think that definitely helps a lot. For those single moms out there, I honestly don't have a piece of advice. I experienced it for the first time actually last night, because Enrique is out of town on a work retreat. So it was just Nova and I. And I'm going to talk about this in another video, ways to get your baby to go to sleep. But for my single moms, just have your iPad, laptop, phone charged up, and play some white noises for real. That's my piece of advice. Miss Nova. Another thing mentally, things that you plan for and not being able to complete or do not feel bad. When I had gave up on breastfeeding, it was like, I planned for this, you know, I talked about it in my video, this is what I wanted to do, and I honestly did not feel bad. But there were people that were telling me, you know, don't feel bad, Other things like sleep training. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to start preparing Nova for sleep training when she cries. Of course, we're going to tend to her, but we're going to let her cry it out for a little bit. First time I hear her cry, I'm like ready to pick up my baby and be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, everything that I have planned for has not been a fail, but there have been some alterations, okay? But there's nothing wrong with planning. It's always good to go in with the mindset of, this is what I want to do, this is why I want to do it, and I want this to work for my family. Because if you have a plan and you stick to it, it could definitely work. But I promise you, there are going to be at least 2 things that you plan for that are not going to go as planned. And be okay with that, okay? And don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. There goes Miss Nova. Also, I was, as far as the planning, don't feel bad about it, and try it twice. If it doesn't work out for you right then and there, take a few days away or a week away and come back and try it again. Try it again. Hold on. Let me go get Miss Nova. All right. So, sorry, Miss Nova likes to be held when she wakes up. So, yes, like I was saying, I was very sensitive. I was a happy crier and an emotional, sad crier. I would just think about how amazing my little family was, how much I loved Miss Little Nova and her father, and I would just cry. I would look at Enrique holding Nova, and I would just cry. I would see them sleeping together, I would just cry. He would say something wrong to me, I would just cry. Yeah, I was a crier, and that is definitely expected, okay? Like I said, your body just released so many hormones, and hormones are trying to fluctuate and get back to normal. So crying is normal. Another thing, which I'm kind of already like this because I'm the only child, but I definitely noticed it at an extreme. I wanted a lot of alone time, and not even like away from my baby or Enrique, but just other people outside of us. Like, I did not want to be around people, even my own mom and dad. Like, I just wanted us. Like, I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to have to deal with anybody, entertain anybody, talk to anybody. I just wanted to be around my little family. And I just wasn't really into being around a lot of people at the time. Hey, Mama. Hey, good morning. Oh, you stinky. Yeah, we're going to change your diaper soon. We're going to change it. Mommy's almost done. Mentally, like right now, she's 4 weeks. I am ready to go out and explore and being about. I'm tired of being glued to this couch. I love watching The Office. It's very funny. It's definitely been keeping us entertained. But I'm ready to be out and about like normal. Like, definitely so. Definitely so. Another thing that you have to adjust to, that you will not have to, but you will learn to adjust to, is learning to do 1,000,001 things within the 2 to 3 hours that they are asleep. So like Miss Nova, I was trying to record this video while she was asleep, but she woke up. But luckily she woke up at the end, because I only have one more thing to mention, so that's good. But literally when she goes to sleep, I'm trying to do 1,050,000 things. Shower, clean up, wash the dishes, clean her bottles, put milk in the freezer for storage, cook, eat. Like, all of these things I'm trying to do. Get a little mental break time, watch something on TV while she is asleep. You will become a master at it. Luckily, my job, I do a lot of multitasking, so I was already 5 steps ahead. If you are not a multitasker, you better learn to become one now, honestly. Even when baby is up. Uh-oh. You okay, Mama? Yeah. Yeah. But even when baby is up, because like I said, before we go change her diaper, I'm going to go get my pot of coffee started. So yes, you definitely better learn to be a multitasker as well. And then, with all of the body changes, mental changes, and lifestyle changes, they definitely have an effect on you. And don't freak out. Like, you just delivered a whole human being, okay? You delivered a whole human being. And so much has happened to you in regards to the day that you found that you were pregnant, to the day that every time you went to the doctor, to the time you went in for labor and delivery, until, definitely after delivering your baby. Just don't freak out. Have someone you could talk to about. I had people checking up on me like, are you okay? Are you good? Enrique would, constantly check in on me as well. Like, you need anything? You good? You okay? So, yes, those are the things that I experienced during my 1 month of postpartum. Every woman is different. And yeah. So I hate the videos where moms try to talk and the baby's crying and they keep continuously trying to talk. So we're going to end this video. But I will definitely, like I said, there will be a separate video to this video showing my 1 month postpartum belly for you ladies. Nova and I are going to drink some coffee, change diaper, bathe, eat, watch The Office. All right, bye.